美国12月15日晚，纽约青年共和党俱乐部举办了第112届年度晚会。期间，当选总统川普通过远程线上方式多次发表致辞。一开场，活动主办方先是播放了2段川普预录制的影片。
Well, I hope everybody at the New York Young Republicans Club is doing well and having a good time tonight. It's a very special group. Gavin Wax is incredible, and you have Nigel Farage speaking, and Corey Lewandowski and Steve Bannon. You can't do better than that. No matter where you go, you're not going to do better than those three. But I just want to congratulate you on the great success. Gavin has been amazing. He's an amazing leader. He's an amazing young guy with a big future. And it's really an honor to just be giving this little bit of a salutation. But I feel I have to do that because you've been so good to me. We had a big victory. A victory like, I guess they said, 129 years. It's the most consequential in 129 years. That's not bad. I wish it were a little bit longer than that, maybe 180, 190 years, but you can't win everything. But we'll take that. And I just want to say that I couldn't have done it without you. You did such an unbelievable job, long beyond New York, all over the country. The word got out what you were doing, and I appreciate it. So to Gavin and to everybody gathered, I wish you a lot of luck, a lot of good health, and we're going to have 4 tremendous years together. We're going to work very closely together, and we're going to have 4 great years. We're going to make America great again. Thank you. I hope everyone's having a great time because you're going to hear some fantastic speakers tonight. You have Dan Scavino and Steve Bannon and Corey Lewandowski and Nigel Farage, who's taking over Europe, it looks like. And you have some fantastic people, and Gavin Wax has done an incredible job with the New York Young Republicans. They've really taken them to a level that you can't believe. They really helped me too. I want to tell you, we almost won New York, but you helped me far and beyond New York, much beyond New York, actually. And as you know, we won all swing states, 7 swing states, and we won them in a landslide. We won the popular vote in a landslide. We won sort of everything in a landslide, and I attribute a lot of it to the people in the room tonight. So I just hope you're having a fantastic time. I wish I could be with you, but I'm doing a couple of other things. You probably heard about that, but I'll be with you most likely next year. I do want to say this, though. Gavin Wax, you are fantastic. Keep up the good work. What a great group of people. And we will be together. We'll be together soon, and we'll be together a lot. In the meantime, I'm going to go out and make America great again. You're going to be very happy with the job performance. I will not let you down. You didn't let me down. I won't let you down. Enjoy these great speakers. Good night.
尽管如此，当天的晚会上还是发生了一个小插曲。川普的一位顾问亚历克斯·布鲁斯威兹在演讲时突然癫痫发作，摔下了舞台，为本来欢乐的现场气氛增添了一丝忧伤。而在听说亚历克斯晕倒后，川普也立即向纽约青年共和党俱乐部打去了电话。
Should I take the call from the 45th and 47th President of the United States? President Trump, I'm here at the New York Young Republicans Club in New York City. Hello, everybody hears you.
Very good, Dan. Thank you very much. And I know that Alex is going to be fine. Hello, everybody. I know Alex is going to be fine because he's a tough son of a gun. There's no doubt about that. So I want to say hello to Alex because he's a very special guy. And I want to congratulate Dan Scavino and Steve Bannon, Corey Lewandowski, and Nigel Farage. These are great people. I don't know, you must have some terrific crowd to get those people to speak. And in particular, I want to congratulate Gavin Wax, who's been a friend of mine from the beginning. And I just want to thank everybody for being there. We had a tremendous election. We won the popular vote by millions, and we won the states, the swing states. We won everything, and it was a great day, and it's going to be a great 4 years, and you're going to all be a part of it. I want to thank everybody, and I'll tell you what Alex has done and what all of you have done with that party is just incredible. You know, we almost won New York without spending too much time there. We almost won. We were just a little bit short. And I'm sure in 4 years, perhaps somebody else is going to have to be worrying about that. But we'll help you out. In 4 years, you'll see what happens. It's turning Republican. New York is turning Republican. So I just want to say thank you very much, everybody, for the support. The election was the biggest, they say, in 129 years, the most consequential election. That's what even the fake news media is saying. So I just want to thank everybody for being so supportive. You will not regret it. We're going to make America great again. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
President Trump, have a great evening. We love you. On behalf of everybody here, we love you and have a great night. Thank you.
Thank you, Dan.
好，在经历了这个小插曲之后呢，现在就让我们一起来听听两位重量级嘉宾的演讲吧。首先登场的是奈杰尔·保罗·法拉奇，他是现任英国改革党党魁，秉持着坚定的右翼民粹主义，被誉为英国右翼最具影响力的人，大有取代英国保守党成为右翼新领袖的势头。
Good evening, New York. Well, it's great to be back on Wall Street. I started my career working for Drexel Burnham Lambert of Wall Street fame back in 1982. And all of my adult life, when I had a proper job before politics, I worked for American companies, and I believe that the gap across the Atlantic in many ways is narrower now than it ever was. You may be bigger than us, you may be stronger than us, but I promise you we are your best allies and best friends in the world. Of that there is no doubt. And what a joy to have a president coming in on January 20th that understands that link and connection. Now, people often ask me, what is the art of public speaking? What do you need to do to get a crowd on your side? And I always say, never begin with an apology. Never begin with an apology. But I must apologize because this time last year I let you down. I was supposed to be the speaker, but I went off to do the biggest reality TV show in the UK. I went off and spent a month in the Australian jungle, living with snakes and poisonous spiders. It was a bit like being in the European Parliament, really. But it just goes to show that because you've done reality TV does not stop you becoming a successful politician. I was honored on November the 5th to be in the room at Mar-a-Lago. And I was the only Brit in the room to watch those results coming in, to see Corrie's optimism. He knew within 15 minutes it was over. And Trump was there just as cool as a cucumber. And I wanted to say tonight that in a world that moves at 100 miles an hour, a world with 24/7 media, a world with social media, I get the excitement, the energy, the buzz that this landslide victory has given. And yet, I wonder whether you, his biggest supporters, have actually taken time to really take stock of what this achievement's all about. This guy, and I know what it's like being in the front line. I know what it's like to be demonized by the media. I know what it's like to be physically attacked. I know what it's like to live with that fear. This man is without doubt the bravest man I've ever met, the noblest man I've ever met, the most principled man I've ever met. You should feel honored that this man is about to become your 47th president. Honored, thrilled. And just think how brave he's been. I spoke to him on the phone the day after the second assassination attempt. I couldn't believe how cool he was. And in this campaign, you've seen the real Donald Trump. You've seen the human being. You've seen the sense of humor. You've seen the sense of love, of family, of community, of country. And I am just so excited for what Elon and Vivek are going to do when they take the knife to the establishment that stops enterprise, that takes away liberty, that destroys freedom. Now look, in 2016, with the Brexit result, I think we gave a gift to America, a gift that helped Trump with his campaign. And now I think the favor's been returned. Now I think Trump winning is going to help us change our politics in the United Kingdom. And whether you believe it or not, I am already the odds-on bookmakers' favourite to be the next British Prime Minister. And boy, we need to do it because we're in more trouble than you are. We've got huge problems, although one of them we have got rid of. One of our major problems that was causing huge distress in our nation, we've now sent to you. His name is Prince Harry, and he's yours for keeps. We don't want him back. All over the Western world, there is a realization that the globalist model doesn't work, that big government, big banks, and big business are not the road to freedom and economic security. We've got to give the little guy and the little woman a chance to build their businesses. We've got to control our borders, or we let people in that actually hate our culture and want to destroy it. And it's happening in Britain, and it's happened in Italy, and it's happened in Hungary, and it's happening in Poland, and in France. The Fifth Republic is about to fall, and Marine Le Pen will become the next president of France. Of that I have no doubt. But the truth is that without America, the Western world has no leadership. Without America, everything we've built over 2,000 years, based on Judeo-Christian culture, which is at the heart of everything that we are and we believe in, without America, if America falls, the whole of the West falls. And we hand the whole thing over to those that would do us harm. I'm talking, of course, about the real enemy, China. Or should I say, China? I think that's right, isn't it? So, boy, we need America more now than we've ever needed America. We now thank all of you who've done the amazing work you've done. This august institution that has been here before, since before the First World War, you now give us hope. You now give us inspiration. I now believe, for the first time in a decade, that we can now save Western civilization. We can save our countries, save our culture, give a future to our kids and grandkids that I thought had been stolen from them. And for that, we have Donald J. Trump to thank, and all of you that backed him. And I promise you, I am truly, truly grateful. And given that coming up is the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence, isn't it great that that'll fall during Donald Trump's presidency? And if I'm allowed, if as a nasty Brit, I'm allowed to come to those celebrations, and you won't throw bread rolls at me for being an oppressive Brit, I'll come along and celebrate American independence because you were the first Brexit and you've made it the most successful country in the world. Thank you very much indeed.
那么第二位重磅嘉宾则是史蒂夫·班农，他是川普2016年总统竞选团队的首席执行官。2024年7月1日，班农因违抗1月6日委员会传票被判藐视国会罪而入狱，直到10月29日，也就是今年大选前一个星期才被释放。愿意为川普入狱，可以说班农是川普的铁杆支持者无疑了。而在此次晚会上呢，班农更是语出惊人，爆出了川普参选2028的可能性。他直言，川普会在圣经上举手宣誓，为他的第3次胜利和第2个任期而战。圣经上并没有说任期必须连续，那么为什么不在2028年再来一次呢？
Thank you very much. Thank you. Look, 1 year ago, at this very table, I think the table is right there, Gavin Wax turned to then President Donald Trump, because Trump won 2020, did he not? Was Trump the true president or not? I can't hear you. Gavin Wax sat right there with the President of the United States, and he says, guess what? We want to have you come to South Bronx. We're going to have a huge rally. Okay? That was on Inauguration Day this year. It'll be 400 days since that happened. And what did the New York Young Republicans Club do? When he was falsely charged and had all these false made-up trials by Letitia James and Alvin Bragg, that entire group of Marxists up there, what did the club do? What did you guys do? You got the street to show up. It wasn't congressmen and elected officials from Washington, D.C. You turned out the boroughs. You turned out the Bronx. You turned out Queens. You turned out Brooklyn. You turned out Staten Island, right? Everything you folks did showed the coalition that was going to win in November, on November 5. Remember when you went up and did the bodega runs, right? Remember when you went and saw the construction workers up there? Later to go to the barbershop? You then had the massive rally in South Bronx that led up, you had the thing, and then to lead up to Madison Square Garden. Madison Square Garden could not have been done in 2016 or 2020. This is what this club has done. This club is from the streets of the boroughs. We're not going to win this. We're not going to take down this system in the CEO suites. We're going to do it from the streets. The people are rising up, and that's why they back Trump. And Gavin Wax told him, he said, Mr. President, if you would come back, I will turn out 15,000 people in South Bronx, right? That shocked this country. No place else in the country did this. We had rallies, you had turnout, you had ground game, but what you did here in New York was exceptional. You actually showed that this coalition is multi-ethnic, multiracial, right? It only depends on you are populist or nationalist. The New York Republicans won't do it. The New York conservatives won't do it. They want to have some debating society. You're not going to debate this away. You're going to take this back from the streets. And that's what the New York Young Republicans are. You know why? You guys have the same quality Donald Trump has. You know what that is? Swagger, right? Swagger. You're going to spit in their eye and tell them they're wrong. 400 days from Gavin Wax did that, Donald John Trump is going to raise his hand on a King James Bible and take the oath of office. His third victory in his second term. And the Viceroy, Mike Davis, tells me, since it doesn't actually say consecutive, that, I don't know, maybe we do it again in 28. Are you guys down for that? Trump 28? Come on, man. Do you guys have the fight in you? Are you going to take this back? I don't think so. Are you going to take it back? Do you know what the fight? Do you think the vested interest in this city, this is the capital, the financial capital of the world, you think they're just going to sit there and go, oh, this is lovely? You got Raheem Kassam and Vish Burra. You got guys from the Bronx and Queens, right? You got guys from Brooklyn and Staten Island. And we give a damn about you. They don't give a damn about you. They think you're garbage. They think you're trash. They think you're deplorables. And you proved them wrong. Okay. So we won. What are we going to do about it? You put together a coalition that has the left talking every night about, oh, we're going to be populist. We're now going to be populist. They all want to be populist, right? It doesn't come that easy. You guys have been working. I've been to the club when you had these small gatherings. Look at this tonight. And look at what you've done in the boroughs. Look what you've done. That's populism. That's populist nationalism. That's the winning ticket to get 2/3 of the people in this country, African Americans, Hispanics, Asians, all of it. And not just, and come from New York and spread throughout the country. If you go back and look at the other two presidents that are level of President Trump, George Washington and Abraham Lincoln. Washington, New York was key. It was key in the Revolution, correct? It was the key that picked the lock for the Hudson Valley. It was where his first inaugural was. It's where he gave the farewell address a couple of 100 yards from this building to his officers down at Francis Tavern. This New York was absolutely critical. If you look at Lincoln in Gettysburg, where were they coming? They were coming to Harrisburg and they were headed to New York. You had the great riots afterwards. New York was absolutely central to the financing of the Civil War and actually to the prosecution of the Civil War. And let me tell you one thing. When President Trump takes the oath of office, you're going to have three things. You've got a war going on in the Eurasian landmass that's out of control with 1.7 million people dead in Ukraine, right? When he said from the beginning, no war with Putin, at the beginning, they would have never done it against Trump. Putin would have. And President Trump's the only one who can bring peace. Number one, you have the 15 million illegal alien invaders here on Biden's watch. They all have to go. In fact, your own mayor, Eric Adams, now agrees with this, doesn't he? Eric Adams came out on Friday and said, hey, after one meeting with Tom Homan, it said there are 500,000 children here that are supposed to be with their sponsors that are missing, right? Eric Adams. I think he's actually Q, isn't he? Is it Eric Adams? Is Eric Adams QAnon? Poor Mayor Adams. Poor Mayor Adams. As soon as he said it won a sanctuary city, hey, Southern District came for him, right? Mike Davis, the viceroy, is going to clean that up. As hard as the Third World War is to stop, and that's going to be President Trump's negotiation in the Middle East and with the Russians in Ukraine, as hard as it's going to be to start to deport 15 million people, started with the criminals, right? The hardest is going to be the third part of it. So 400 days from when Gavin Wax told the president, you come here to the South Bronx, you'll change politics forever. That's 400 days to Inauguration Day. If you take from today, 400 days in the future is the first anniversary of Trump's first year of his second term, January 20th of 2026. The national debt on that day, and if you don't trust me, pull your phone out and go to the debt clock. The national debt will be $40 trillion. $40 trillion. Regardless of what President Trump and Doge does right now, those numbers are almost baked in. And at $40 trillion, the game changes. As Nigel Farage said after Liz Truss was thrown out of office by the bond vigilantes, Nigel told me, he says, Steve, more governments have been turfed out by the bond market than by howitzers. Right here in this city, the financial capital of the world is going to determine the success of Donald Trump's presidency. That President Trump's got to get, and he will, get a grip on the out-of-control debt, the out-of-control spending. Elon Musk will be a part of this, right? And I hate to say it, you're going to have populist tax cuts on no tax on tips, no tax on Social Security, no tax on overtime. To make up that gap, I hate to say this, I know you got a bunch of still Republican Orthodox folks out here. You're going to have to raise taxes on the wealthy. Hey, both parties got us into this. Only the populist nationalists can get it out. But you know what? The neoliberal neocons are going to have to pay for what happened, right? We didn't get in this jam. Do you understand at $40 trillion or $1.5 trillion of interest expense, what that takes away from the country? This hole that we have dug is unbelievable. And only President Trump can get us out. Now, I do want to say one thing to the Biden regime. The Biden regime every day is working against the country and President Trump. They're exacerbating the problems in Ukraine. They're exacerbating the problems in Syria and the Middle East. They're exacerbating the problems with the Chinese Communist Party. They've shipped all our ammo out. And hey, I don't know. Are they the guys that got the drones over New Jersey? Everything they're doing on the border, they're trying to get more people in here through CPB-1. They're still trying to get illegal aliens into the country. And last but not least, pal, we don't need another rate cut. And we don't need the games that Janet Yellen's playing right now with the balance sheet. What they're trying to do is to cripple President Trump in the opening days of his administration. This has to be fought every single day. Biden, you failed the exam. It's now time to put your pencil down. He's only going to be successful if you have his back. The fights in Washington have already started. You see where they passed the NDAA with $900 billion. You see where they talk about 1 or 2 reconciliations. That's all to hide more federal spending. President Trump's going to come up, and he's going to need you to have his back. The fights are going to have Capitol Hill with the Republican Party. Look right now at his nominations, right? Pete Hegseth has to get approved. Tulsi Gabbard has to get approved. Bobby Kennedy has to get approved. Kristi Noem. Kash Patel has to be approved. Head of the FBI. President Trump took a bullet to the head and 4 months later won a landslide. He gets to have the team he wants. And I don't give a damn what Mitch McConnell's got to say about it. I don't care what Joni Ernst has to say about it. Okay? I don't care what give us advice and then give us your consent. The great Matt Gaetz, we should never allow that to happen. That's one of the greatest young warriors in our movement. It's one of the greatest young warriors in this country. It's unacceptable that we let pencil necks that have destroyed this country like Mitch McConnell tell us who's going to be the Attorney General of the United States. Where's your fight? You know this. They're not going to sit there and give you anything, nothing. Right now, the New York Republican Club and the Conservative Club, walking around with the bow ties. They want to have some debate, some high tea somewhere. This is going to be won in the Bronx, in Brooklyn, in Queens, and Staten Island, up from the streets, led by you. And by leaders like Kash and Gavin Wax and Raheem and the rest of the leadership. This is not a tea party. This is not some social event. This is a fight for our country and a fight to the end. President Trump committed all of this. Remember, when he went back to Mar-a-Lago in January 2021, I can count the people that were with him. You got Dan Scavino, you got Corey Lewandowski, you got Boris Epstein, right? Boris, stand up. Boris, stand up. You got Monica Crowley, Ambassador Crowley. Think of the odds. Think of the odds of the legal. It was 1,000,000,000 to 1, right? No big law firms to work for him. What Boris put together in the 10,000 decisions you have to make every day to make it right. And it was you guys having average citizens show up outside the courtroom when they had Rachel Maddow and all these people cackling every day. You could see average Americans, and Boris and the team coming up there with one brilliant legal strategy after the other. I know it's brilliant because George Stephanopoulos is paying $15 million and apologizing. Boris, I will never know how you pulled that off, and I don't know if I want to ask. The country's in the balance. Okay, we won on November 5th, and the work of the grassroots, the canvassing you guys did. You went to Pennsylvania, knocking on doors. It's extraordinary. But that's not the fight. The fight is we won. We have all three branches of government. And most importantly, we have the executive branch right now that we can deconstruct the administrative state with brilliant people like Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy. And we got Kash Patel and Boris's legal team at the Justice Department to take on the deep state. No mercy for them. No mercy. None. Everybody's around President Trump. What do they always say when they get around him? You got to moderate. You got to be nice so we can get the mythical suburban woman, right? Right? You're not going to get her, and we don't care. You've got working class and middle class people. You have blacks, Hispanics, Asians, whites, all of it. That's what won a base election that showed you what populism in this country can do. He doesn't need the mythical, Taylor Swift, low propensity. Low propensity, low information voter from Brown University. Boris will tell you, Mike Davis will tell you, Matt Gaetz will tell you, the fight is going to start on November 20th. I mean, it's already here now. And we have to be relentless. There has to be not retribution. President Trump looks at retribution of turning this around, getting the economy growing again, jobs for everybody, to redo the economy of 2018 and 2019, okay? Because President Trump is leader of all the people. He's president of the United States. He's got a kind heart and a big soul. But that's not us, right? We want retribution. And we're going to get retribution. You have to. It's not personal. It's not personal. Think of what they did to this country. Think of what the corporate CEOs did with the DEI programs. And think of the debanking and cut it off of credit cards. Think of how they tried to destroy every person in this audience. If you stepped up and said, remember we used to have this at other places and we'd have police barricades and the left was out there and the media was goading them on, right? Because you know why? They never in a million years thought we'd be back in power. And they need to learn what populist nationalist power is on the receiving end. I mean investigations, trials, and then incarceration. And I'm just talking about the media. Should the media, Mike, where's the viceroy? Should the media be included in the vast criminal conspiracy against President Trump and his followers? Should Andrew Weissman on MSNBC and Rachel Maddow and all of them, we want all your emails, all your text messages, everything you did, you colluded in a conspiracy with Merrick Garland, Matthew Colangelo, Lisa Monaco, and Jack Smith. This is not me saying it. Benny Thompson's on TV saying, give a committee a pardon. Lock them up and throw away the key. In the White House right now, with the world on fire, they're spending the time on blanket preemptive pardons. Blanket preemptive pardons. Here's the good news, folks. Here's the good news. We've got these rats cornered. If they give the pardons, the Democratic Party is finished. Amy Klobuchar and those people are telling you that. If they give, we dare you to give blanket preemptive pardons to anybody. If it happens, the Democratic Party is over. And if it doesn't happen, you're all going to prison. That's what the Chinese call a win-win, right? The fight starting January 20th is the real fight. It's going to be determined in this city. The bond market is going to determine whether we're successful or not. The global capital markets are going to look at President Trump's plan, and if they turfed out Liz Truss, they just turfed out the French government, they're not going to turf out Trump, but we need to have his back. And the people to do it are right in this room. Are you guys up for this fight? Are you tough enough for this fight? You know, I always feel like it's the borough's prom night when I come to these things. Monica Crowley's laughing right there. Monica, knock it off, you Upper East Side types. Not cool. I want to thank you guys, first off, for staying at least somewhat sober this late in the evening. You guys are fighters. You guys are fighters, and we're going to need a fight more than we've ever had before. Each and every one of you have changed the direction of this country by showing that populism is inclusive and showing that we want unity. Unity comes from victory. We are not going to have any unity with radical Democrats. We are not going to have any unity with globalists. We are only interested in one thing, and that is total and complete victory. To quote Napoleon when he talked to his marshals of France, when you set out to take Vienna, take Vienna.